Do you want to know how to make money while traveling? Then this video is for you. My name is Michael and I've been able to build an income that does not get affected whenever I travel, and I do love traveling, and that is really a great freedom to have. And many viewers have asked me, how can you actually build a business and income so you can travel when you want to and where you want to without it affecting your income? So therefore in this video I will share my personal experiences about the 3 best realistic ways to do this. So personally, I'm a big fan of having a flexible income, because that means that you can travel whenever you want to, you can work when and where you want to. However, I also want to say that you don't have to travel all the time. I don't travel all the time. I do love traveling and love traveling with my family. And the past year, for example, we've been to like Dubai, we've been to Thailand, we've been to Spain, we've been to India, and I do love going different places, but you don't have to. And I also love that flexibility that you can also sometimes just stay, and I also love staying longer in one place for sure. But overall, what I just love about making money online is that when you find a proper setup, then it truly gives you flexibility to live life on your own terms. But of course, when you're looking for ways to do that, just be aware that there's a lot of fake information out there that will just end up wasting your time and your money. So based on my personal experiences, I will here share the 3 best realistic ways to create a setup like that. But first, I just want to go over a few basic things you need to consider before you find the right method to do this for you. So first of all, I recommend that you sit down and actually write down a few things. First of all, how much do you need to earn to be able to live a life that you want to live? Like, the advantage of traveling, for example, while trying to build an online business is that some places you can live extremely cheap, so you don't actually need much to be able to try to commit full-time, because of course the more time you put into creating an income, the faster it will go. And the problem is, if you live in a very expensive country, then you need to have a lot of money here and now. And when it comes to building a real sustainable long-term business, which is what we're talking about here, then it will take time, and that's something you need to be aware of. So having a good idea about how much do you need, to be able to do this, how much time do you have, for example, if you are right now in a position where you do have a full-time job, how much do you need to do, how much time can you then commit now to build so you reach that level, so you can start living on your own terms, so you can put more time into also building your online business, and that will then increase your freedom. When I first started, I had a lot of freelance jobs to help pay for the bills, and then the more I started earning online, the less freelance jobs I could, and now I only work for myself online. And then you have reached the level where you actually truly can decide when and where you want to work. And the second thing you need to consider is, of course, also a budget, because if you want to create a full-time income, it can be done, of course, for free. It depends on the methods you're choosing, but realistically, if you want true flexibility like what I prefer, then there will be some investment, for example, for some basic education and for some basic tools, but it's not necessary. But I'll talk about both kind of approaches, but it's just good to have an idea. And no matter what, it's good to be aware that creating a full-time income online, it will take some time, dedication and effort, no matter the methods you're choosing. And choosing the right method is, of course, crucial for your success, and not just necessarily the overall right method, because the best method for me might not be the best for you. It needs to be the right one for you. Personally, I do prefer and recommend methods that give true flexibility, so you really can work on your own terms, and when you want to travel you can just do that and all that. And now I'll talk about my 3 top recommended options for this. And you could actually say there's more than 20 different options. So, and I've seen some videos, make like 20 ways to make money while traveling and things like that. And I could also do that, because that maybe would look better in the title, but I'm just divided into 3 top categories, main categories, where some of them have several options underneath there, but I just wanted to simplify it a little bit to give you a better overview instead of just trying to make it look good in the title. But anyways, let me now start going over these methods, and then that can help you decide which route is the right one for you. So the first I wanted to talk about is affiliate marketing, and this is actually my top recommended method. This is what I do myself for a living, and the reason for that is that it really gives true flexibility. It does take time and effort to build up a good affiliate marketing business, but if you do it the right way, you can actually help people. You can create quality where you help other people and make really good money yourself. And that gives you true flexibility, because once you build it up, you will even earn money when you are sleeping or when you are on the plane or whatever you are doing. And even if you take a complete day off, and the earning potential of it is really huge. But in case you don't know what affiliate marketing is, then the basic idea of this is that you will find a topic that you're interested in, that you want to build a business around, a direction for your business, you can say. Some people also call this a niche. And this can basically be any topic. And then the second step, in my opinion, should be that you actually need a website. You don't need a website to make money with affiliate marketing, and there are many ways to make money without it. But no matter what you choose, that is something that I recommend, because having a place to send people to actually earn from it, and to, for example, collect email leads, to, just in general also get traffic from Google there if you rank the website. But overall, no matter what your method is, then any business, real business online today, you will see they have a website, and that is because it's just a great place to send people. It gives you also credibility. So that's something I recommend. And the great thing is that with the tools available today, this is not something you need to be technical. You don't need to spend weeks learning it or months or anything like that. It's something you can do, with no experience. You can have a website up and running very quickly, just a basic website, sometimes in the matter of minutes if you use the right tools, and then you can adjust it from there. So you don't have to worry about the technical aspects. You don't have to do that step, but that's what I recommend. Then the third step is that you need to have traffic to that website, or if you don't have the website, you just in general need traffic. You need to build an audience. That can be through Google traffic on the website itself, through search when people are searching. It can be YouTube, it can be TikTok, it can be Instagram, it can be Facebook. There are many sources. There are many sources that are not so valid and that can just end up wasting your time. Some of the ones that I just mentioned here are some of the best that can really scale. Of course, also like Pinterest, there are many options. You can also do like paid traffic where you pay for traffic. But if you're a complete beginner, that's not something that I recommend you start with, because you can burn through a lot of money while testing that if you're complete unexperienced and don't really know how to do and all that. So these are just some of the methods, and you need to find this. Where do you want to build an audience? What do you feel passionate about? Something about like writing? Do you want to create videos? Do you want to be on TikTok? And then you need to focus on that and put in time and effort. This will not happen overnight, but it can give really great results long term. And then the fourth step, once you have an audience, you have traffic, then there is a ton of ways to make money. For example, through affiliate marketing. And that means basically that you recommended product and services that you truly believe in and that can truly help your audience, and then you earn a commission because the companies that are behind them, they're willing to pay you a commission when you recommend it to others. So you're basically the middleman. You connect audience that is looking for specific things with a company that provide that based on true and honest advice, and then you will earn a commission. So it's actually a win-win-win. Everybody wins, and it's an ethical, good way to make money, and it can really scale and increase and make huge earnings. So this is my top recommended way that truly gives freedom. Of course, it will take time and effort, but if you're willing to put in that time and effort and also a bit of money for educating yourself and some tools, then I do have some information about my exact steps that I have taken to do this on my website. I'll leave links to that below. But if you don't think affiliate marketing sounds like something for you, then let's move on to the second category I wanted to talk about. So the second category I wanted to talk about is remote jobs. And there are many platforms where you can find remote jobs, but this, compared to what I just talked about, means that you will still get hired. So sometimes you need to work on a set schedule, but it's remote jobs. So in many cases, it can be done from anywhere, which of course gives flexibility. It's just not the same flexibility because you're still working for someone else. So sometimes you do have shifts, or you do have certain deadlines that others are telling you about. But if that's what you're interested in, the advantage of this is that once you get hired, of course you need to find the jobs first, but once you get hired, you will start earning right away. You know what you will earn with affiliate marketing. The potential is huge, but it takes time before you start earning. So you can also, combine it in different ways if you want to. So find something like this part-time while building an affiliate marketing business, and then, do it like that. That's also an option. So each of them have the pros and cons depending on your preferences. But one great platform to find it is Flex Jobs, because the job platforms in general, they there's a lot of scams on job platforms. You can end up like having a hard time finding legit jobs. But flex jobs, they have a vetting process, so you know whatever you find here, then it will be legit jobs, real companies, and they also have different tools you can use to actually apply for these jobs. You need to apply, so you have to go through an application process. They do have a small fee. It's like super low, like below $10 I think for the first trial or so to get a subscription, because you get access to all that, and they charge for this because they're actually making sure that it's legit jobs. So in my opinion, if you are looking for remote jobs, paying a tiny fee for making sure that you get real tools and that you get real access to real job posts, that can definitely be worth considering. But you can also use other platforms. This is just one of my preferred platforms, and you can see the job categories, and you can find jobs no matter the country you're actually from, and they are, you know, flexible. It's called flex jobs, so they are in general a lot of remote jobs here. You can see all the categories here you could go for here. So you can just see anything like, okay, you wanted to do, you know, call center jobs or communication jobs. What do they have here? You can go here. You can also search for location, career level, education, all these things here, and then go through here and find them. You see some of them, they're specific locations. Some of them you can just see here, also remote. It's actually found remote here. So they are probably remote there. So go through, find them, and then you have to, of course, go in there to get full access to the job post and apply. You would need a membership there and go through the whole application process, and you need to get hired. So it's not something that it's guaranteed you will get it, but it's going to be a really great place to find flexible jobs. And in overall, you know, finding remote jobs can be a way to start earning faster and also get the flexibility to, in many cases, sit where you want to do. Just be aware that it'll still be an employer that controls what you do. And if you want to know more about flex jobs, I also do have a full review of it on my website. I'll leave a link to that below also, so you can go and check that out. But let's now move on to the third category I want to talk about also. So the last option I want to talk about is to become a freelancer. And I'm on Fiverr right now, but you do not have to use Fiverr. I want to say that, but this is just one of the most popular freelance sites. So I wanted to show something here for you to make a point, and that is how many different types of freelance jobs you can do. And this is where, I mean, like, I could have, you know, made a title that said like 25 different ways to make money while you travel, and then I could say like, oh, graphic designer, logo designer, social media marketing manager, or whatever, you know. But I just put this onto one category, that is being a freelancer. And you see, it basically, no matter what your skills are, you can find freelance work. But of course, be aware, something like Fiverr or Upwork, some of the most popular ones, there is huge competition. So just because you join doesn't mean that you necessarily get hired. You need to take the time to build a proper profile. You need to set your prices correctly at first. Start getting those first few people that are hiring you, that gives good reviews. You need to reach out to people, that give them offers. It takes quite a lot of time and effort. And you are, of course, dependent on continuously then getting hired and doing the work as fast as you can, because that's a part of people, you know, if they are hiring something. I know that for myself. If I go to a freelance platform, the ones that are replying the fastest are often the ones that I end up hiring if they actually can offer what I am interested in. But the great thing is that it's still very flexible. You can do it from anywhere. People that are hiring on freelance platforms, they don't care where in the world you are sitting, as long as you do a good job. And as you can see, basically, no matter your interest and skills, there are freelance opportunities. I also do have a list of the best freelance platforms you can join, because it's a good idea to also have profiles on different ones. And then you can check that out through the link below if you think this is the right option for you. So as you can see, if you want to make money and have the freedom to travel when you want to, then there are quite a few options. All of it will, of course, take time and effort. That's how it is to build a real income and a real business, no matter whether it's online or offline. Some of the options I showed you here have more flexibility than others. Some will let you start earning faster, and some just have a bigger earning potential than others. But overall, all of these options are valid ways to make sure you have an income that let you work more on your own terms and that let you move around when you want to. Which of the options are the best really depends on your personal preferences. You can also combine it. As mentioned, when I first started an affiliate marketing business, I did a lot of freelance work because I had some bills I had to pay, but then I put as much time and effort into building the online business, so I didn't work full time, so I could pay the bills and then put a lot of time into building an affiliate marketing business, because that just has bigger earning potential and more freedom eventually. And then when that goes better, you can scale down with the others. Yeah, that's one way to do it. That's what I personally done. So, you can consider that also. But the exact best options really depends on your preferences. I'll leave links below to more information about the exact steps I've taken to create an affiliate marketing business. I'll leave a link to FlexJobs so you can learn more about that if you think the remote job options is for you. And I also have a list of the best freelance sites that you can join to find freelance jobs. I'll leave a link to that below so you can check that out if you think that's the best option for you. But no matter what, I hope this video helped you and inspired you. And if it did, make sure to hit the like button, and also don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out next time I release a video with tips and tricks about different ways to make money online.